What's going on? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is TGI Fight-Day, Wednesday edition.
How does it feel, Korey? How does it feel? Second episode. How do you feel about the name?
It takes some getting used to, I'm going to be honest.
The name. It is a name.
At least I was able to say it this time.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's right there in front of me now, just looking right at me.
And we're not bound by the Friday thing because, we might as well just put it out there last Friday. We did not do a show. Do you know what we were doing, Korey?
What were we doing, Michael?
Doing the Hella Mega Tour. Tell me you didn't fucking forget about that.
Hella Mega Tour 2021. Well, technically 2020, but taking place in 2021.
Yeah.
But,
did they call it 2020? Is it because of like all the advertisements?
I don't know. I just feel like everything that was postponed from 2020 is like the Olympics now.
Yeah, so they basically did the Olympic. They did that soccer tournament. Yeah. For those who weren't familiar with it, we're not going to get too deep into it other than it fucking rocked.
Yeah.
Korey and I went to the Hella Mega Tour, which is a tour consisting of 3 bands, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and Green Day. And we were at Oracle Park in San Francisco. You have any affinity to that name? Like, do you have it's always going to be
it's AT&T. Yeah, I mean, it's AT&T to me, but
because that was the name when they,
yeah. Yeah. And also I don't know. I guess
like Pac Bell Park. I still kind of like that.
AT&T was also the one I'm just most familiar with, because Pac Bell wasn't that long of a name for a stadium.
It felt well. Yeah.
But AT&T Park AT&T Park for me. But Hella Mega Tour last week.
We saw Green Day, the East Bay's finest. They're my boys. I'm relieved my voice has recovered in time for this podcast, because let me tell you, the last 2 days was straight up, I was Laurinaitising it. I was really Laurinaitising it.
Sorry, kid. You didn't make the mustard. You didn't cut the mustard.
Yeah.
Budget cuts. But no.
50,000 people. I mean, it was outdoors, but Sardine can. For those who have never been to Oracle Park, because we were in the 300 section. We had to exit our way out, just going down the stairs alongside a lot of other people, and it was a sardine can, and I feel good now, Yeah.
So long story short,
AEW
Dynamite, right?
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. But no, these are trial runs. These are TGI Fight Days. Let us know what you think in the comments below, what you want, what you don't want. And because we're still trying to work things out. You know what I mean? Yeah, fixing the bugs. We won't be here every week. Some weeks we will, some weeks we won't. But hey, once the machine
it was worth it.
Oh, it was definitely worth it. But once the machine gets started, it won't get stopping.
Well, we can't promise that, can we?
One day we will.
Okay. Yeah, anyway. I always say one day.
Anyways, nonetheless, AEW Dynamite took place let's say last night. I guess last night, right?
Wait.
Yeah, we also talk about news.
Okay, I was gonna say,
and we're also Michael.
Okay, on. I thought you were doing the. Oh no, you're doing the show format. I thought you were gonna go straight to Dynamite.
Tonight we got AEW Dynamite. We got
your horses, Korey.
All out preview. But first, let's get into news. But that's how AEW Dynamite does their rundowns of the show. So that's how I felt, because we talk about AEW Dynamite.
And unfortunately, the way we're gonna have to start news, it's a bit of a heavy subject. So, bit of a content warning here. It's also ongoing. So updates are incoming on this one, but it's a pretty serious subject.
And I'm getting all my updates, from you and our other CWR on the street reporter Jose Oseguera.
Content warning, suicide, all that stuff.
Yeah. More warnings? You want to?
No, that's it.
Okay. Nonetheless, Daffney. What's her? I can't.
She usually just goes by Daffney. Daffney.
Formerly of WCW. We've done some retro WCW reviews here on the show. It was posting on Instagram. It was earlier today. Talking about going through a letter, talking about where her stuff is going to go.
Basically just reading out loud her will. We don't I wouldn't
I didn't
necessarily
see the,
want
I didn't
to.
see the video yet, so I can't say exactly for sure what was
Again,
the video.
I wouldn't necessarily want to go through the details of that, but basically, just it was more or less just an IG live video of what was ostensibly a cry for help.
But like I said, our CWR associate Jose did say in the video he did see what looked like to be a 9mm
Yeah,
pistol or gun. I don't know if it's technically. I don't know what it is. I'm not familiar with those things. But people are reaching out and crying out for help on Twitter, all around the wrestling world. From Mick Foley, Sean Ross Sapp. People tag Sean Ross Sapp in the post
yeah,
that somebody posted. I mean, he's saying police are en route, but there's also she's had multiple addresses. Her family's been reached. They're trying to reach her. Multiple people are trying to reach her, but there's
yeah.
it's just going to voicemail. So
It's so far that's all we know, and
yeah,
you know
and
that's
like I
just
said, we're going to keep our eyes on the situation. Yeah, if anything happens, because it's hard, man. It's hard. Life
yeah.
sucks sometimes. I get it.
I
I
mean,
get it.
like it's also just it's a bit of a heavy subject, and unfortunately, it's something that wrestling is. It's a subject that also wrestling is unfortunately a little familiar with. You
Yeah.
know, you don't
But
want to say
people,
this isn't a common thing, but
yeah, people are reaching out to her though. Like I said,
Big
everybody,
Swole, Mick Foley, they're all using their platforms just to, as asking if there was a way to
yeah,
reach one
leave
Daffney
updates,
Unger.
yeah.
Yeah.
So best please, we pray. I am not a
Yeah.
praying man, but hopefully Daphne's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's able to talk to someone and work her way through her traumas and everything that she
Yeah.
needs to get help working through. So
Because also, like, so with September, it is September 1st. It's also Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Might as well just use our platform just to this out there.
yeah,
If you're in crisis, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255 or use the crisis text line. Text NAMI to 741-741. Yeah, it's bit of a heavy way to start these news, but unfortunately, stuff like this happens. We I hopefully Daffney
I
gets the help that she needs.
yeah, I think at this point, I hope the word gets out, and I hope she's okay.
Yeah. Again, just a repeat. If you're in crisis, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 800-273-8255. Crisis text line, text NAMI 741-741.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I think with some lighter side of the news taking place today. We got reports that going forward, NXT, which is formerly
NXT.
formerly called NXT, will now be going forward being produced by Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon. This report was confirmed by one David Meltzer himself.
The Melt Man. He melts.
The Uncle Dave Meltzer, as I like to call him, and I think a lot of other people do. I don't know if I just heard that somewhere and I just went.
The Young Bucks would call him Uncle Dave. That's how we probably got that term.
Fightful has spoken to numerous talent in NXT who have not yet been informed of yet such a decision, and we're kind of left in the dark about the news in general. Sources have said that they have not noticed McMahon or Pritchard at the NXT Performance Center, but have noticed one influential producer, Jamie Noble, has been spotted at the Performance Center as of late. And I guess word is that Pritchard will be there this weekend.
Right. And apparently it's not a mandatory meeting, so not everybody has to be there.
Only the people that are going to survive.
Yeah. So they later Dave Meltzer later adding that McMahon and Pritchard will be behind the big decisions, not the little ones, and will be behind marketing, promotion, and direction. So you think Vince McMahon he personally had a hand in that logo? Or just
it does scream.
He threw a bunch of paint at a logo.
Huh? I think Vince McMahon literally ripped off his shirt took a bunch of paint cans and just started slashing at the wall with it.
He's like he's like the dad from Malcolm in the Middle, Bryan Cranston, when that episode where he decided to become an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's my masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's NXT.
And like he just puts a couple strokes, and then like you never see the painting, but then everybody in the family loves it after a couple strokes.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what
Triple
happens.
H. What does he do now?
He stays married to Stephanie and does back roll stuff. Honestly, you know what's going to happen? He's going to make a return to the ring.
Honestly, though, like
might as well at this point. Why not?
I'm going to try to play at least devil's advocate here a little bit on this NXT news. NXT needs to be different. I think NXT really does need a change, and I think what they've been doing for the past 2 years just isn't working. Like you said it a bunch of times, like back in the B Show days where NXT said we would always say NXT had the better wrestling while Dynamite was just overall the better show. Like whatever they're doing now just simply isn't working, and maybe a change is good. Not maybe McMahon and Pritchard isn't necessarily that's not exactly a vote of confidence on my part if they're actually going to pull it off, because I
mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, but days of NXT, like the old days of the good days of NXT are gone. The good days of
watch
it's been gone
better.
a while. I guess they've been gone a while though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when AEW was starting, when Dynamite started.
Yeah, I mean, well, it happened. Yeah, I would say about 6 months. No, it was the pandemic. It was like right when the pandemic hit. NXT just kind of lost track.
That one final beat match with Gargano and Ciampa was really
NXT's one final beat.
Yeah, that final beat. Yeah, no, quite literally.
But what's NXT? What's the Performance Center going to look like from now on?
Oh, they ended that partnership.
Well, they ended their partnership with
Full Sail.
With Full Sail, but they haven't been in Full Sail for a while. They've been,
and they're going to continue. And these past few weeks was the tearing down of the Full Sail studio. That's why they taped those shows.
Those have been at the Performance Center. Those weren't at
CW's. Yeah,
where is CW's? They have not been at Full Sail for a while. The CWC is at the Performance Center.
Yeah, but then they're also just formally. But then even then.
Oh yeah, I know.
Even then, they've ended the partnership with Full Sail. So even then, you can't even. They're no longer associated with that school.
Yeah, no, the look of it. I mean, in terms of staging, lighting, all of that. I mean,
I'm morbidly curious about that.
It used to be dark and gritty, and now it's like the exact opposite of dark and gritty.
They got Wale to do a theme song.
Like they just hit inverse on the select button on the Photoshop, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like as soon as you say inverse, logically speaking, black is white and white is black.
Yeah.
And Malachi Black is no longer there.
Cats are living with dogs. It's anarchy. I guess best of luck to NXT. I don't know.
Honestly, let's
move on, I guess.
It's not a good look.
Let's move on. AJ Mendez, of CM Punk wife fame. Also a former.
I'm pretty sure she's famous for something else, dude. I mean,
no, I know she's also a New York Times bestseller. She's also a former Divas champion, one of the longer reigning Divas champion. I can't say longest anymore, right?
Yeah, as soon as she retired, like, oh, Nikki Bella, let's just.
I had her book somewhere right behind me, but I guess no. Nonetheless, CM Punk was asked, and I do have to make a correction on my Instagram post. I said New York Times. I meant New York Post.
There's a fucking disaster. Sorry. If anybody's watching this, please make a counter on the amount of times I'm fixing my hair. Go on.
CM Punk was asked if his wife will be joining the AEW roster, and he says, "I just want to say no, just because of her neck. The reason she stopped wrestling is because of her neck. I wouldn't want her to jeopardize her health, and neither would she. So we'll put an end to that rumor right now." AJ Lee is not all elite. That means what? WWE? Where's she going, man? No, I'm kidding.
Like I hear something like this, and then you also hear Paige on her Twitch stream saying she's training for her in-ring career, and then who also had neck problems, and then you also I mean, look who
Didn't
fucking
Daniel Bryan?
look who was in the fucking main event of Dynamite. Like Christian Cage is currently challenging Kenny Omega for the title. You have Edge currently in a program who just came off a SummerSlam program with Seth Rollins. Like, it makes you really do question like the medical involved in. But then this is also coming from AJ Lee herself. Maybe this is something that was independently found from her findings, because like the difference between AJ Lee and, hey, hold on, someone's entering the room.
Who is it?
Yeah,
3,
18
2,
minutes. Someone just opened the
1.
door. Someone just opened the door. I'm not even gonna edit this out, and I also completely lost my train of thought.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee, like those findings were completely independent from WWE medical. So maybe it is actually curtains for her. But you know what I mean.
She had that best-selling book. She seems like
Crazy is my superpower.
Exactly. And I've read halfway through it, and that honestly for me, that's pretty freaking good. Just saying. I'm not a reader, and I'm like,
clearly
she has a dog at this point where I'm at. I don't know, it's probably like a quarter of the way. Nonetheless, she won't.
You didn't reach the part where John Laurinaitis basically told her that she wasn't fuckable enough.
Sorry,
you didn't reach that part.
No, I didn't reach that part yet.
Or you didn't reach the part where like she was on a date with Ziggler and all they did was make out and that was it.
No, I can see that though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to
I think that's what that was.
Our last piece of the news of the day. The former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and current Rev Pro Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay has tested positive for COVID-19. Ospreay's positive COVID result is a breakthrough case because he's been fully vaccinated. In a post on Twitter, Ospreay states, I can't go to Rev Pro shows this weekend, so unfortunately, you'll have to deal with really good wrestling and not the best wrestling, because the best wrestler is currently battling COVID. He put it in the exclamation.
His words, not yours.
His words. Yeah.
You didn't editorialize it.
I did not editorialize.
I'm not putting COVID-19 over, brother.
He says I'm going to beat COVID, and why? Because I'm on another level. So yes, he's using his COVID as a
as a program.
Yeah, which is I want to hear more about how he's doing. Losing all those smells, and I had a breakthrough COVID case. I talked about this last time. No,
it's kind of a miracle. It's kind of a miracle. It hasn't happened yet.
I don't think I've given it to Will Ospreay. I can't say for sure I didn't.
I'm gonna say you didn't.
I don't know that. I saw him at a Hot Topic years ago, and I was like, "What's up, Will Ospreay?" And he was like, "Oh, are you doing what?"
Oh, it's not even like, go back even more recent. We met him at that SF State show. Oh, yeah. That's to the Super Juniors. I still have that. I still have that autograph, 8.5 by 11.
You paid good money for that.
Probably too much money.
Probably, yeah. So Will Ospreay, although Rev Pro did make comments on their Instagrams or
he'll be okay.
Twitter, saying he'll be fine by September 19th high stakes show. Which, given my time of recovery, which was 10 days, it's September 1st or 2nd, whenever you're watching.
Took you 10 days even after the vaccine.
Yeah. That's what they told me. I probably could have went out sooner, but I just stayed inside for the 10 days. I could have been fine, but my smell came.
Well, I'm glad you are fine.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Anyways, best of luck to Will Ospreay.
In other news, Max Caster was in the Dark tapings.
Oh, good for him.
Oh, he's back. After that unpleasantness from Dark Elevation that caused Tony Khan to personally edit all Dark and Dark Elevations by myself. Dude, I thought that was the most hilarious thing. Like Tony Khan,
he said something that had to have been cleared. It had to have been cleared. What he said, it
had to have been cleared, but then he
probably
but then you are you willing to believe that Khan himself cleared it? He said, you at this point you're just gonna have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I can't say for sure.
Yeah,
but it was cleared, and I don't think Max Caster should be in so much hot water.
You don't think so? He should at least apologize. in my opinion, I feel like he should have at least apologized.
Yeah, it
it
was
was pretty
pretty hard.
insensitive, and then
Yeah.
also like read the goddamn room. Like Simone, it was like right in the week when Simone Biles pulled out, and you're gonna do this shit.
We
Like,
was talking about like a rape allegation, right?
yeah, it was the
Yeah.
the doctor thing, which again, like you're a heel, but goddamn, read the room, read the year, read the culture, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I want to say, I also do want to say like, well, he's young, but like, how old is he? I think he's like my age. I think he is like 30 in his 30s.
It doesn't matter.
Max.
I think.
Well,
Again, multiple people.
He's 32 years old. Yeah, he should know better by now. He's 32.
And also with the whole Julia Hart thing,
Julia Hart. Well, that's what he said, something about her with like comments of something, I guess, or something in the news.
Yeah, it's out there. He should apologize, and I don't think there's zero indication of that actually happening. But no, he's brought back. He was given sensitivity training, so
to the fans, I guess.
He has a show going on, which is very much evocative. He has a show like from an outside venue that's very much evocative from like an ex. Like that would be very much evocative of somebody who doesn't work for that company anymore, but is willing to use his name to market himself on that very market. And like I thought, like, oh shit, is he not on the AEW, but he swindle a bunch of marks? Apparently, he was in the dark taping, so
he's like Enzo. Any publicity is good publicity for him, at least in his eyes. At least that's how I see it. He's just using it to make money, and that's what he wants to do. Whatever, you go.
I mean, he works at he's not away. He works at AEW now. So he still works at AEW.
He does, but what I'm saying is like he's going to use his name to do whatever shows or create controversy. He's not going to ever be.
He's an edgelord,
AEW World Champion, and he knows that. Like. He's 32.
I don't know, man. I kind of.
You don't know if Max Caster is going to be.
I honestly thought that guy has and arguably still has a ton of potential. I was always a believer in Max Caster.
Yeah, until he let you down. A lot of you. Anyways, shall we move on to Dynamite?
Yeah.
AEW Dynamite, September 1st, 2021. Oh yes, test.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, let's keep going. We kick it off. This is the go home show for All Out this is the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. They give a run.
It's the same arena as All Out.
Is it?
Yeah.
They run down the show for the night. CM Punk speaks. Tony Schiavone with MJF. Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. JR with Jericho in the ring. And 8-man tag match main event, Elite versus Jungle Express and Lucha Brothers. But we kick things off with Proud and Powerful, Ortiz and Santana versus FTR.
A rematch.
So, I mean, what did you think of this match?
I thought it was an excellent match. I thought it was excellent.
I thought it was a good match, but I don't think it was like their best go back and forth, but it was really good.
Personally, like, I know this is a bit of a cliche, but I would have. I mean, like, we'll just get into it. Like, where I was hoping they were kind of flirting with a time limit draw, and I thought, hey, you got a free slot with Andrade and Pac not being on the show due to travel issues. Like, no, give it to these guys. Give them the pay-per-view spot. But alas, they did what they did, which was.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I think this was kind of like, you know how the go-home shows, a lot of go-home shows now are kind of like pre-shows for the pay-per-view. I think WWE does that with like, WrestleMania SmackDown
and Tony Khan has said it himself where he's willing to make Dynamites or Rampages feel a little bit less special in order to elevate those pay-per-views, which with the ratings momentum that they constantly been having, you really want to do that? Like, hey, you're the boss.
Santana Ortiz come out with their Dead President's war paint on. FTR paying homage to Bobby Eaton with their tights.
That Dead President's poster would terrify me as a child, and I think I made this joke before.
Yeah, those are the old days. You can make the joke a couple more times in the new era of City Wrestling Radio. The crowd is super hot for both teams, like just going back and forth with the cheering. Match breaks down pretty quickly into a 4-way, and I'm okay with this because that's kind of like when the match gets going. when they started out with Santana and Dax. It was kind of slow start. Stereo tope con hero to FTR. The two teams get in the ring, build the heat on Ortiz, working his forearm. Cash exposes a turnbuckle, and Dax begins stretching Ortiz.
They were teasing the spot like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this to you. See how it feels, Ortiz. Like, what the fuck, you guys? You're gonna try to end his career?
Like, stretching his arm over the exposed metal. You get a hot tag to Santana. Santana then just runs wild on FTR, and I can honestly see a singles run in Santana's career, if anything. Like,
everybody's been saying that. Everybody wants that, and I feel that way too. But you know, until when it's right, it's right.
Yeah, I can see it happen. Tres Amigos to Dax, followed by a frog splash.
Okay. Do you think I gotta ask you? Do you think Eddie Guerrero tribute spots are overdone now?
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
so too.
I think every time someone tries to get one now, they do it. It's kind of like a cheap pop.
It definitely is, especially if you're a Hispanic performer.
Well, yeah, you don't really see like, Nick Aldis go for the Three Amigos and the frog splash. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's what somebody does now in the ring if they want to. They're just like, well, I need to do something real quick. Hold on. Three Amigos frog splash spot,
Yeah, and then you just hear the Eddie. Yeah, they got to be careful about that. Everyone's got to be careful with that, or else, like, hey, at least there was a gory bomb,
the gory special.
The gory special. They whipped out at least something.
Yeah, they hit the gory special on Ortiz by Cash Wheeler. Then they hit the big rig on Ortiz. Santana comes off the top rope to break up the count. The end of the match, though, saw a rolling cutter to Cash by Santana, leading to a code breaker to Cash by Ortiz. Then they hit their finisher, which was kind of like a double reverse flapjack, right?
Yeah.
Then a pin in the win. Santana over Cash Wheeler. I mean, I don't know. People were talking about this could be, one of Cash Wheeler's last matches because they didn't know the extent of his injury.
I mean, clearly he looked good.
Yeah, he looked really good in this match, so I don't see any reason why Cash Wheeler.
You were being worked, Korey. We were all being worked.
Yeah, it could be.
There was a point in this match where JR says the crowd is full of P and V, and my shitty mind. Yeah, he said, "Oh, because he obviously meant piss and vinegar," but then I immediately just went like, "What? Penis and vagina?"
Yeah, I mean I was kind of.
You can say piss and vinegar on TNT.
Oh, the kids will get after me, and
I mean, I feel like the kids like myself would go more after him if he just said P and V. That's way more. That is way more racier to say.
Santana gets the pin on Cash Wheeler. Then we move on to Daniel Garcia and 2.0 promo. They're basically promising to take out Darby Allin before he makes it to All Out because Daniel Garcia is facing Darby Allin at Rampage this Friday night. What do you think of 2.0? They're
absolutely perfect for who they are.
Great.
They are remember when I would always say like, oh man, Dark Order is going to be great cannon fodder for the Elite, and how like they would just be like stars. Yeah. They would take bumps, and they're great workers. They know how to format themselves into making the actual stars look larger than life, as illustrated by the segment that we're just about to recap.
Yeah, no, they're great. I love them. Then we get the CM Punk Speaks promo, which I feel like we're gonna get a bunch of shows because
he's also becoming self-aware about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, he did say something about like, you guys aren't sick of me yet. But I don't know. I feel like after every entrance from besides the first Rampage, the first dance, everything just seems lackluster now.
Oh no, I mean, I can say that about last week. This I feel had the most meat within this Darby program.
Because I feel like all night, I don't know, they were just kind of treading people out to play their music, and they would say nothing. Like CM Punk didn't say much, He just says, "Oh, I every time I come out here, I love coming out and hearing you guys cheer for me for Cult of Personality. It could all end on Sunday, but I promise." And then he's attacked.
Yeah, what you just recapped was a little bit different from last week, where last week was really special because he pretty much just fucking confirmed the signing of Bryan Danielson. But yeah, with this one, I thought Whatever. The promo's the promo. What actually happened was the real star of that segment.
Yeah. That's when Sting and Darby Allin come out for the save.
No, 2.0. They come out and Punk.
Yeah.
But then like I love how like as Darby's music kept playing, you can see like Daniel Garcia still beating up Punk. Like, hey, listen, the time between now and them entering this ring, I could still kick your ass.
They're still walking down like kind of slowly at first. They're just kind of like, I'm like, come on, let's go, guys. CM Punk's getting beat up. Let's get out there. They come out for the save. They all hit their finishers on the heels.
The first GTS from Punk in 7 years, man. That's a big deal.
Well, that's to be disputed.
What do you mean?
Do you remember that indie show? That guy who ran in with that mask?
Come on. Okay, on national television.
Okay.
On national television. Okay, trivia note. The last person to take a GTS from Punk since then. Testing.
Ryback.
Nope.
Who?
I'm giving you 2 more guesses.
Daniel Bryan.
Nope.
Cody Rhodes.
Nope.
Okay, who was it?
Head of the table, Roman Reigns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Roman Reigns himself. Well, I mean, he's back. He hit the GTS.
That's crazy. That's got to be the handicap match then. No, I can't.
No.
I saw this on Twitter, so it must be true.
Like I said, all 3 men hit their finishers on the heels. Allin and Punk stare each other down. Sting gets on the mic and just reveals to everyone just how old he is, because he says he has mucho respect for Punk.
It's
Sting.
He's not going to be like.
Oh, I know. I'm not like mad props, yo. I mean, I get it, but at the same time,
like, he's not the Undertaker. I mean, I think he's better than the Undertaker, but then like he ain't gonna be like this big mystique. He's just a silly dude with a face paint who just knows, hey, it's been a long time since I've done this shit. Let's get on with this.
Mucho respect. I mean,
I thought it was fun.
SoCal 90s surfer. That's just what I thought. Thought it was funny. I laughed out loud when I heard him say it. Anyways, he goes on to say that it was good to see a GTS, a coffin drop, and a stinger splash all in the same ring. He says, we've all got the same goal in mind. We're getting traffic out of the way for the match on Sunday. And that traffic, some of that traffic is the stinger. And he goes, I'm going to give a fist bump to my buddy, Darby.
My son.
Yeah. He says, you know what? I'm going to take the weekend off, guys. Later.
I ain't even gonna go to Chicago. Later, guys.
Wait,
hold on. How much is the pay-per-view payout? Oh, okay, I'll go.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll be.
I'm sure he'll actually just do a fist bump and just like, hey guys, I'm Sting.
He'll give a fist bump to both guys. Like,
yeah,
kids, when you go out there, don't know too much roughhousing. Don't do too much of that.
And here's your lunch money.
And also no eye raking, and no low blows. So then Sting leaves the ring, but then so does everybody else.
And that was Punk versus Darby, as far as it's going. I'm sure.
We have a Kenny Omega video package, which I wasn't really paying attention to. It was just kind of saying Kenny Omega.
Listen, man. I mean, I could go more about it on the preview on our preview for All Out, but people are sleeping on this match. I watched Omega versus Cage again on the first episode of Rampage because I recently got a fight. An AEW Plus Fight subscription, which more on that later, but Kenny Omega, that was a great fucking match. Like, I'm looking forward to them running it back.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything yet. I mean, I saw that Impact title match. It's okay, but
no, I'm strictly just talking about the Cage and Omega match. I haven't seen anything in regards to Christian Cage's Impact work.
Yeah. No, I mean, Christian Cage, Kenny Omega for the Impact title in AEW.
I thought it was for all the marbles. I think Kenny Omega is probably going to get that. I mean, whatever.
No, he's not putting his title on the line. It's just for the AEW title.
Okay.
Yeah. And nonetheless, I don't. We'll talk more about it later. Then we had MJF promo or MJF interview with Tony Schiavone, and it's MJF.
But also Tony,
really good promos, really good promo.
But Tony also added a lot to it because he just straight up like, I'm here interviewing this piece of shit.
He's like, I'm interviewing the most despicable, piece of shit. And MJF is just like, oh, thanks for being a good reporter and very biased you are. Did
He
love
has a
that.
point, dude. Like, come
He
on.
does. He absolutely does. MJF promo, he says, he's talking about Chris Jericho. He goes, you are absolutely known as the greatest of all time. You will be forever arched or drawn in the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. But don't get it twisted, buddy. By the time my career is all said and done, I'll be taking your place. I know wrestling fans are going to take a long time to get used to that, but I might as well be wrestling stepdad because I got big shoes to fill. I thought that was a fucking great line. It basically goes on talking about how Jericho is like the Muhammad Ali of wrestling and how Muhammad Ali was addicted to the spotlight and couldn't get enough of it. And that's what turned his brains into what MJF says, quote, scrambled eggs, and how Ali is a shell of the man he was. And he says, look in the mirror, Jericho, because you are Ali in this story. So, I mean, it was a good, passionate promo cut.
Yeah, it was a great promo.
The one thing I cracked me up so much was the fact that there was like 20 camera cuts, and I thought that was done intentionally because I think
like as a rib to like
or not like a
production.
Rib, not a rib, but more of like heel heat for MJF.
Yeah.
Like people would be like, "Oh God, this is horror." Oh, camera.
Oh no, I think it was an actual like production call for like, okay, we can't just have one still shot. We just need to have people in order to maintain people's attention span. Which, hey, it kind of worked for me.
Like, it was going a lot back and like to the point where I was like, oh, okay, come on.
Yeah, if you notice it, that's probably fine. But my attention was still retained. I came off of this really looking forward to the MJF Jericho match, and even more so as we get on with the show.
Yeah. Then we go on to Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. Hardy attacks Orange Cassidy before the bell.
Yeah.
Bryce Remsburg ejects him. Evans takes control early. OC eventually runs wild, hits a tornado DDT, and then a Michinoku driver, to which JR replies, I never thought Taka Michinoku would have a move named after him. I was like, that move's been named after him for... Even Excalibur was kind of like, well, I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, the move's been named after him for what, 20 years now? I mean, I love JR. Just saying, pointing it out. The match goes to picture in picture and never comes back from it because the match ended in picture. Kind of pissed me off.
The first, like since you were clearly watching from the TNT feed, like I mentioned earlier, I am a new subscriber to AEW Fight Plus, so I have the fortune of watching these uninterrupted. Let me tell you, Korey, 100% recommend it.
Well,
watching Dynamite on AEW Plus is...
Are you also watching
a fucking game changer? Yep.
Yeah, so you have to do a VPN and AEW Fight Plus.
Yeah, I'm on one that's free.
Oh yeah, no,
that's free. It's because they do plenty of these. I mean, like they're not going to sponsor us, so I might as well not say it. But I highly recommend it. I got some Netherlands internet. Fight doesn't know it at all.
All my free chocolate and weed over here.
And I also bought All Out for $20 using it. So
did you? God damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome because I just paid for my All Out. I didn't pay for it, but I ordered it on Comcast.
I'm just gonna fucking go off on these Bleacher Report fuckers right now, actually, because I had all my Bleacher Report emails filtered to spam, and when I way after the fact, I searched on the search bar of my Gmail Bleacher Report, and then I saw these bevy of like action required, last chance, migrate your Bleacher Report account to Bleacher Report live account to Bleacher Report, and I found this email way after the fact, and now I connected and then I logged into the Bleacher Report website proper.
Yeah.
I go over to my events page.
You
lost everything. I have about $200 worth of AEW pay-per-views bought off of that. Yeah, I'm a filthy mark buying all these pay-per-views. How dare you? But yeah, I lost all of it, and this is why I'm subscribing. This is why I have a VPN. This is why I have a Fight. I'm buying these things through Fight because fuck Bleacher Report. like on it. Like what the
Wow.
hell? And I also sent an email. They haven't gotten back to me on this, so
What? Bleacher Report. Come on, dude.
bad. It's real bad. But
It is messed up. That's.
fight. It's not messed up. It's been a really smooth experience. You know,
I still have my all in. I think on Fight.
no restaurant quality picture in picture. I mean,
There
you
it
get
is,
to
but
hear. I do get to hear Jr. say that. But so when Jack Evans got pinned, it just felt like a regular match. Like, oh shit. And then and it took me a minute to realize, wait, are they still in picture? Oh shit. I kind of wanted to see that. I kind of wanted to see how it looked on picture in picture. So yeah.
It came back and it was just over, and I was like, oh okay, because I don't watch picture in picture. I got stuff to do.
Nobody does. That's
break,
I feel like that nobody actually
stretches.
does. And I think this is and I feel like this is the wake up call for like, hey, people, watch your picture in picture.
Yeah. Then yeah. So then with the HFO, Hardy Family, or was it Hardy Family Organization? What do they fucking call themselves? Hardy Front Office. Sorry. They attacked the Best Friends. Jurassic Express come out for the save. Then like this is the second week in a row I feel like where an OC match, Orange Cassidy, is pretty lackluster, and everyone's kind of gonna be kind of harping on this one.
What do you think about this whole Orange Cassidy Hardy program?
I don't care. I just don't. You know what I mean?
I think it's just treading water for.
I honestly had a thought though today about Orange Cassidy.
What do you think of Orange Cassidy?
I know people are gonna like harp on me about this, but he's got to change he's got to change something, man. Like
I don't think he should change his look. I think it's just the program that he's in.
Oh, it's his person. It's everything. Like he's gonna be this guy his entire.
I wouldn't change his personality. I would more or less. You got to have something. You got to have somebody to bounce off him. And I don't think Matt Hardy is that person.
I just turn him heel. I want to see all black denim. Yes, Michael.
I disagree.
Well, yeah, the whole program is lackluster, and I'm not a fan of it. So we move on to the Eddie Kingston promo, or the Eddie Kingston Miro promos back and forth. Eddie Kingston, fucking great. I just can't get enough of the guy. He says, "I'm coming after your neck. That DDT is your kryptonite. I'm coming after that TNT championship, because without that championship, you're no longer God's favorite champion. Take my hand. We're going to walk through hell together. And if you survive that, you're going to go to your God's heaven," which I was just like, holy moly. That was great.
Yeah.
Then Miro replies.
Yeah, go ahead.
Miro replies, he goes, "Kingston talking about DDTs and kryptonite. God's favorite champion only stays down for his hot wife in a hotel room.
I love
a victory."
I love everything.
I love Miro. Just in general, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He incorporates his hot wife, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's something going on with my microphone. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen.
I hear you fine over here.
Yeah. No, it's just the way OBS is acting weird right now.
Well, I could send you an audio file if you need it.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, no, he's great. I've always loved Miro on Twitter. I've always loved him and CJ Perry kind of together in like real life. They've always just been the sunshine.
Oh yeah, no, they were highlights. They were highlights every time they were in Total Divas. Now, I mean, hey, listen, you get to see CJ Parker in the Surreal Life this fall, like, you know.
Yeah, and I think
without Miro, so whatever.
And I think, you know, they seem like a couple that would be like down to go to Disneyland or like go out clubbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they just have like this perfect contrasting. They have great chemistry together. You know, of course. They legitimately love each other.
Moxley video promo. Moxley says he's insulted by this crazy ass old man who wants to get in the ring and go toe to toe with him, and he's going to go back to Cincinnati with Kojima's scalp. So I was like,
Bread Club, motherfuckers.
Oh, I guess Cincinnati. Oh, they're the Reds, right?
Oh, bread with a B. Did you not?
Never mind. Nonetheless. Yeah. So he's hyping up his match against Shitoshi. Blah. Help me out here. Shitoshi. Can't say it.
Satoshi Kojima.
There you go.
You had it.
Yeah. Anyways, JR interview with Chris Jericho in the ring. JR says Jericho is going to might make a mistake this weekend. He's going to tell us why after a good old round of Judas karaoke. Come on, everybody, sing along. Yeah. Jericho comes out to the ring. He welcomes us all to Chicago is Jericho, because he said his in-ring main event career started 22 years ago in Chicago, just down the road at the Allstate Arena. The man who recruited him was JR, and that's why he wanted JR out there with him. JR then asks him, he goes, "Why did you apply the stipulation to the match, Jericho?" He says, "First off, MJF, you're a piece of shit."
Which Tony Schiavone just interjects common knowledge. No, he just says common knowledge.
He says, "You only have 3 victories over me." But Jericho is never complacent. And that's why he's here in AEW. They didn't know where they were going to go, but here they are, episode 100. Jericho said he can't live with the thought of not beating MJF.
Did he actually say episode 100?
Yeah, it is episode 100.
No, he did. Jericho say that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, at least somebody acknowledged it.
Jericho says he can't. He wants more. But he goes, but if horrible things happen and he does lose on Sunday, he's going to go to the commentary table and he says goodbye to all the fans. But also says MJF doesn't have the balls to get rid of him on Sunday.
Great promo. I'm very much looking forward to Jericho versus MJF. I will have my opinions on who goes over later on this show.
Yep. CM Punk, Darby Allin or it was more of a Darby Allin video promo, and
it was a student film. It was a project.
Literally, it was like Juno because they had like the soft guitar in the background.
I liked it. It was different, you know. Normally, you would dissociate like hard, like no. This was
you left me 7 years ago.
This is what Darby. This is what makes Darby Darby.
He says, you said I was first on the list, but in reality, I should have been last on your list. So I have to do something impossible. I have to beat CM Punk in Chicago.
I mean, it's not exactly how he delivered it, but
no, that was just me.
But Darby Allin, he is deceptively like the way he looks, he is deceptively low voice. You know, like CM Punk. You know, even if you're the best in the world, like that's part of the appeal of Darby Allin. He's a small dude, and kids are small.
Then we go into the Haas match of the night because
I'm looking forward to it, man. Whatever.
Will Hobbs versus Brian Cage.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
Meat mug. Cage attacks Hobbs during his entrance because that's what faces do, apparently.
You know what I fucking hate, actually? I hate Hobbs' white boots with the 2 large black laces. It always clashes with with any singlet that he wears.
Well, you know what? Boots are expensive.
Well, then fucking tell Taz to fucking pay up. I swear to God, I hate it.
Yeah, he got that new Harlem Heat tights.
Yeah, so. Matt, get boots that match your singlet. It looks bad. Like I would go like just recolor the laces because Hobbs killing me, brother.
So goes to picture in picture relatively quickly, comes back. Hobbs is in control. Shivani informs us that apparently Britt Baker has tweeted out about a big signing here in AEW.
Ooh.
And so I don't know. I've seen Brian Cage and Will Hobbs go like wrestle. I've seen them wrestle live before. They're good. This match they seemed a little jarred by one another. It seemed like there were spots they were waiting to go for, but like with the Spinebuster spot, they were kind of going.
Oh, I love the Spinebuster spot. I actually liked this match.
Yeah, no, I do like the Spinebuster spot, but it seemed like they were waiting to get into it, and they were like, "Wait, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it? Okay, let's do it." That's just what I thought by seeing it. But Spinebuster to Cage, F5 to Hobbs, outside in suplex to Hobbs, and that's when Cage goes for the drill claw, but Hook distracts the ref. Hobbs then tosses Cage into Ricky Starks, who appears out of nowhere. Knocks Cage in the head with the FTW Championship. I'm guessing that's the match we're going to get at All Out to replace Andrade and Pac.
No. The Women's Battle Royale is going to take that spot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got a falling power slam to Cage, and Hobbs gets the pin on Brian Cage.
Hobbs has a win on Dynamite. Is that the first time he's ever actually won on Dynamite as a singles competitor?
No, I mean I think he was a face for a minute. Remember?
Yeah, but I always thought those were just like dark matches.
No, they were on Dynamite.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, Hobbs gets a pin in the win, and we'll see what happens. Malachi Black video promo. He basically said when he attacked, was it Anderson last week? Was it last week, right?
Brock Anderson last week.
Yeah, and Arn Anderson last week, that he didn't run when Lee Johnson got in the ring. Yeah, he just said, I just left because I wanted to. Okay, Lee Johnson. God.
Basically, he's saying his death will be a slow one.
Well, he says, I will place a coin on each eye so you can pay the boatman's toll.
Yeah.
Go down to Hades. Because I am Malachi Black.
This was great.
I mean, he's good. I'm starting to get that sense of like, this reminded me of the backstage promos he did on SmackDown.
Yeah, but these are way better, and these aren't written by Vince.
He can't keep doing them because they just make me feel like those SmackDown ones.
I haven't reached that point. I think it helps that they have like actual footage in the background of him being there, not like being there wrestling and being a part of the product. Like that kind of adds teeth to his promo. Like with back in the back when he was doing in the main roster of WWE, like he was just straight up just a black room, static, just saying a bunch of nonsense which you don't care about because he has nothing to do with the actual. He's literally just there, just being for the sake of being there, rather than having an actual meaningful program with somebody on the roster, which is Cody and his Nightmare Factory people.
Well, yeah. So he's going to face Lee Johnson at Rampage. Next up, we have the WWE segment of the week, brought to you by QT Marshall and the Factory. So QT Marshall and the Factory are out in the ring. They call out Paul White because QT wants to face Paul White one-on-one, heavyweight to heavyweight.
Well,
that's when sorry, I said Big Show. Paul White comes out to the ring. He runs wild. The Factory beats down on him. I mean, yeah, it was like super obvious that they were going to do that too. So the Gun Club come out to clear the ring, and then they attack Big Show, or sorry, fuck it. It's Big Show. This is WWE right here. This is what I'm talking about. So Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass Billy Gunn, hit Big Show with a chair,
and he was attacked by Billy Gunn and his scumbag sons. Corey,
so Gun Club is officially heel now, so I guess they're not a part of the Nightmare Factory anymore because they were. Remember?
I don't know. It's nonsensical. Okay. It's nonsensical. Listen.
And QT didn't even know what was going on because then the Gun Club walked past him and he's just like, whoa, sorry.
What is happening? What's going on? Listen.
I have my thoughts, but we'll get to it on the preview.
I'll just speak solely on this segment, particularly the Gun Club heel turn. I loved all of this. I loved the whole Big Show just killing everybody in a cartoonish way. Like, I did not take this seriously because I took it at the level of seriousness that it deserves. Like, this is a low card, low tier spot on the card that you gotta at least sell a little bit. You gotta sell me a little bit on, and it's just the whole novelty of just everybody selling for Big Show's silly ass offense, and it worked for me, dude. Because that was not fun. Not everything needs to be a freaking high art main event within the picture of this card. And what I saw from this go home segment, I was laughing my ass off. I was not taking this seriously at all because there's enough. Listen. There's enough stuff on this card to actually take seriously.
Big Show's a young guy. We need to build it right.
But then this whole Big Show QT Marshall thing, I know I'm in the minority on this. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I think QT Marshall is an excellent heel, excellent low card loser heel, and Big Show being just this novelty act that him going through that Nightmare Factory or whatever QT Marshall's Nightmare Club wing is. I thought it was silly. I didn't take it seriously, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Factory then pick up Paul White.
Marshall's going to get his ass kicked. That's what's going to happen.
Factory picks up Paul White, gives him a diamond cutter, and like I said, hashtag WWE. Tony Schiavone with Baker.
Gun Club, Gun Club is undefeated.
Well, good for them.
They've never lost a match.
Tony Schiavone with Britt Baker, and apparently the free agent who she speaks of is is her because she re-signed. Who would have thought her and her boyfriend were free agents at the same time? Who would have thunk? I don't know. Not me. Not you. Not anyone. But hey, yeah, there's going to be she announced a handicap match for Rampage with Rebel and Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander. And that was one of the stipulations of her contract. So I don't know. Tony Khan.
Thanks for coming, Britt.
Yeah. Penelope Ford with the Bunny versus Ty Conti. Where do I get to the end of this match? Okay, so there's a lot of judo throws. Okay, I will say this. This match wasn't good, but Ty Conti, compared to where she was, compared to where she is now, she looks confident in the ring, and she looks like if she has somebody good to work with, she can work very well.
Oh, she's amazingly charismatic, dude. They have something in her, with her.
That being said, Penelope Ford, I don't know if is the best opponent for her to work with because they didn't work well together in that ring.
I mean, AEW's women's division, as talented as some of them, as some of the talent that they have, as talented as there's not a lot of depth to it, you know.
Yeah,
like Serena Deeb is currently out, in which I consider her still the most like in ring most talented worker throughout the entire division, and she's currently out. And I mean, who else do you have? Like Hikaru Shida is in the she's like in the nether realm. Like she's just, they're slowly building her up. They're stat padding her. Oh God,
Statlander.
Does the Thunder Rosa spot happen after this match?
Yeah,
okay, kind of forgot.
Yeah. So then, so basically, pump kicks all around the world to Ford, gutbuster to Conti, Bunny tripped Conti. Conti then tosses Ford into Bunny, roll up pin, win. Ty Conti gets the win. They beat down on Conti, and out comes the returning, the Queen Slayer, Anna Jay. She returns. So
and you could see the joy in Ty Conti's eyes. Like it was just like legitimate happiness. Welcome back, Anna. And then Excalibur says, by the decree of Tony Khan, Anna Jay is in the Battle Royale. So, hey, something to look forward to.
Yeah, it'll be a face for Britt Baker to beat. Thunder Rosa interrupted. She's backstage. She's interrupted by Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill, who I guess have some sort of union now.
Just by virtue of both being heels.
Yeah, they beat down. And I just love how Thunder Rose is like, she looks at both of them. She's like, well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down fighting. And she just starts throwing some punches.
They needed to fix the audio on this segment, because like they had to add at least a little bit more bass and oomph to each of those punches, because like it just everything about this felt flat to me. Yeah. Everything about like when the beatdown on like Rosa, I hate saying the word fake, but this was the fakest like I've ever seen off and off.
Well,
off studio segment.
Once Mark Sterling and Vicky Guerrero come into frame, it's just like, all right. I don't know.
I mean, clearly it's just going to be something to tease for the Battle Royale, which shit, it's going to be Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose facing off. And they're going to eliminate each other, but we'll get there.
Preview of Rampage this week. CM Punk is going to speak again. Because you got to play his music at least once on the show.
It's going to be in Chicago at least again.
They are in Chicago. So let's do it again. They'll get a big pop for the show.
I really do hope this is like an actual meaningful face-to-face, promo-to-promo. I want more mic time for Darby Allin, not that student film. I need something something more. And I think they will do that. I hope they will do that.
So CM Punk speaks. Daniel Garcia versus Darby Allin, Malachi Black versus Lee Johnson, and Miro will be there.
It's going to be live.
Also Statlander versus Jamie Hayter and Rebel. And Moxley next week, his homecoming, Cincinnati. I guess we'll definitely be playing that Wild Thing theme again. And then they run down All Out, which we'll do at the end of the show. Our main event time: Jurassic Express and the Lucha Bros versus a version of the Elite, the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks. So the Elite are coming out.
They played the Elite theme, so it's the Elite.
Oh, I know, but usually when I think Elite, I think Kenny Omega is going to be a part.
I know. We have the Elite at home.
So Steel Cage is above the ring for some reason, some luring reason. Luchasaurus and Gallo start the match, and we get another Haas battle alert. That's when Ray Phoenix and Nick Jackson get in the ring, leading to the Bucks and Bros exchanging super kicks. Both teams kind of match super kicks at one point. The match breaks down into an 8-way. Back we go to commercial, come back. The Elite are building the heat on Jungle Boy, get a hot tag to Phoenix. Phoenix runs wild, donating kicks all around. Double springboard, arm drag to Nick by Phoenix. I felt like when they could get Phoenix and Nick Jackson in the ring, they should take as much time as possible.
Man, I thought Penta, like aesthetically speaking, like he looked awesome. I think this is his best. I think this is like his best costume. Like I was so over the Joker thing. Now he got that black, gold, and white.
Yeah.
I want that action figure.
That Joker one was used up way too often. Speaking of which, hold on. When that CM Punk figure comes out, it's going to be sold out everywhere, right? For like a good year, right?
Probably. I mean,
anyways,
is it any different than any other fucking All Elite Wrestling action figure?
True. Just let's see. Cutler then hits Phoenix in the face with the dreaded spray. We get a magic killer to Phoenix. BTE trigger broken up by Phoenix. Then he hits a double cutter on the two Bucks. Meltzer driver to Phoenix and the pin and the win.
God,
on Phoenix.
This was a fucking astounding match. Phoenix just overachieving like he always does. Like, calm down, dude. You got a pay-per-view.
And then we get our WCW segment of the week because we already had our WWE segment of the week, at least in my opinion. After the match, Kenny Omega comes down. He has pitch black hair. When did that happen?
It's purple.
It's purple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Elite beat down on everyone. Luchasaurus, he receives a magic killer through a table. Christian Cage comes out, but the Elite outnumber him because, there's like 12 of them. Cutler comes out with a bunch of kendo sticks now. Kenny then tells
he's like handing them out like churros at Oracle.
He got churros for everyone. Yeah.
Like, here you go, everybody.
Kenny then tells Tony Khan that to keep his personal effects a little closer, and tells Callis to lower the cage because they have the keys to the cage now. The Elite beat down on all.
Oh no, he has controls to the cage because.
Yeah, I thought what he meant was like he stole the keys to control the. Yeah, I'm thinking too much about it. That's all. Lucha Bros are handcuffed.
It's like a car, you need keys to control a car.
So many super kicks all around. We get a 3-man BTE trigger to Christian, and the heels stand tall.
I'll say this. Yeah, go ahead.
On Dynamite. Yeah, no. Go on.
The Bucks got to be losing that belt.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there. Yeah, all I got to say about this ending segment just pertains to what I think All Out should be, which, hey, this Dynamite, it did its job in making me excited for All Out. I can say that.
Yeah. And leading to Rampage too will be a little buffer in between. And AEW All Out this Sunday night. CWR, that's our station that we work for. We will have
the historic station that is CWR.
The radio station that should be called the YouTube channel, but I call it a radio station. Yeah, we're on YouTube. We will have some sort of review for you that evening. But let's kick it off.
Radio's not a podcast, but for you, it can be, or whatever the fuck Cole Cabana says.
Thank you, Cole Cabana. Do you want me to send you that sound clip now?
No.
Okay. We kick it off with the pre-show match, the buy-in match, as it would be called.
The buy-in.
We get the best friends. We get Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and Jurassic Express. That's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt versus the HFO, the Hardy the Hardy front office. I forgot again what they were fucking called. Matt Hardy, Private Party, TH2. Yeah, they're having a 10-man tag. I think they should end the program. Best friends and Lucha people win.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. There's not much weight to it. It's just it gets the crowd happy.
Yeah.
It's a crowd. They got to check if the mics are working. They got to make sure they got to cross their T's and dot their I's in this broadcast. So might as well use it on a fucking buy-in. That's the whole point of buy-ins, in my opinion, I think.
Then we go on to the first match of the night, or at least how Wikipedia is listing it. The 21-woman casino battle royal for the AEW Women's Championship match. We have Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kira Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Kaylin King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, and 2 women TBD. I'm voting on 2 women TBD. That sounds like a strong person.
And don't forget the Joker.
Yeah. So I'm assuming one of them's the Joker and one of them's going to be announced on Rampage.
I mean, who do you think the Joker's going to be?
Ruby Riott.
Yeah, it's Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be her. I mean, who
Did
else?
you see that video?
What, the one of her getting on the train?
Well, no, not the one like where
There's
she's
like one of her, she's
where
feels
like
apart.
she's checking her IDs, like, oh wait, no, and it's a Heidi Lovelace, like, no, show this, and and it says, it says Ruby Soho.
Yeah. Soho. Who do you think is going to win this match?
It's probably Ruby Soho.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be Ty Conti.
I don't think it's gonna be Ty Conti. I think it's gonna be Anna Jay. I think Anna Jay, she's returning. She's the face.
Maybe it's a little bit too early.
No, I don't think she's gonna win a title. I think she's gonna be cannon fodder for Britt Baker. That's AEW. Like, people have their roles, man. Like, she'll
Can't
be built
push everybody.
She'll be a champion one day, but until then, I think she's gonna win this match by eliminating Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter.
You know, because they were. She was teasing the whole, like, well, if Jamie Hayter wins, she's not going to challenge me because it's my title.
God damn it.
But yeah. So you say Ruby Soho, I say Anna Jay. Okay. Next match. Jon Moxley versus.
Are you actually writing this down?
No, but I should.
Okay.
I don't know. Satoshi Kojima. See, it's easier when I read it. I mean, this is Moxley's match to win, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, you think
no question about
it's
it.
not so much if Mox is going to win. Do you think we're going to see another tease of another New Japan person?
Yes, but who? Maybe a video playing,
like just Tanahashi and the Titantron.
Yeah,
like, they're just going to.
That makes sense because he's been calling out Tanahashi for the past couple months, unless Minoru Suzuki comes on the screen, because Minoru.
I hope he doesn't come on the screen.
It's a big cleanup job.
There's
but
a
no,
TVPG pay-per-view, or TV14.
This is not restaurant quality here. But no, I think it's going to be Minoru Suzuki because he's doing that U.S. kind of tour through this. You know, he's coming to the Bay Area.
It would be a great moment for Minoru Suzuki to just straight up appear at All Out and just. He basically just do that entrance.
I don't think a lot of people.
You think a lot of people are going to say Kaze ni Nare?
I'm
not asking if you're going to do it. I'm asking if the
I'll be one of the many people to do it. But yes, I think if he's there, yes, it'll happen. But I don't think he's going to be there. I think he's going to show up on the screen. Video package. He's not in America yet.
He's going to come on the screen with his package.
Hey, exactly. Next up, Paul White versus QT Marshall with Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado in his corner. Who do you got in this match, Michael?
Okay, it was Big Show and QT Marshall. Did you see did you watch Dark where like Taz was like, "Oh no, I love QT Marshall. He's my boy. I love his dog so much. And like I support everything going with QT Marshall going forward." And then Excalibur completely asked, and then straight up Excalibur asked, "Well, yeah, who you got in his match against Big Show? I mean, against Paul White." "Oh, I think QT Marshall's toast."
Dude, I love Dark because Taz and Excalibur are just able to shoot.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast.
Like, hey, did you see that football game the other day? It wasn't happen like that. Oh, good.
And I think they know it too. They're very self-aware about that. Like to a point where like, okay, people love this show for this. Let's just keep on going. Let's just keep on going with it. We're riding the wave with it. Like if you treat Dark and Dark Elevation to an extent as a podcast, it's fantastic.
So I don't think this match is going to happen.
You think there's going to be a swerve? Arena?
I think that's why we got what we got on Dynamite. I think they beat down Paul White so much. Like, it had to take like somebody beating him down with a chair.
And he's not medically cleared, and you think it's going to be Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby. And he's going to fucking super kick the hell out of QT Marshall, and he's going to pin and win.
He's going to be a face. You debut Adam Cole
for a second. Might as well. You know, come in. Don't have him align with the elite, because everyone that's a natural born storyline. Just have him come in and
just be another
debut.
guy in the Elite if they were to do that.
And it doesn't need to be him coming in as a face. He just saw an opportunity to take a match.
But you're also
Marshall's just out there. Oh, no one's here to give me a match. What's going on? No one's here. And then out you hear, boom, Adam Cole comes out. I think it's happening, man. I know.
I hope it happens. That sounds like a great idea.
The card's overloaded.
But man, I feel sorry for Paul White. I think,
Well, I mean, what do you mean? I feel sorry. It's Paul White. It's not like, was it not like Dante Martin is like,
hey, maybe this was like an audible, like, hey, and then Paul White's just gonna be a company man, like, okay, no, I see this. This is gonna be a lot better. Like, I do think that's a better idea.
He needs
and
to
I hope it would happen, but
younger talent is Adam Cole. So anything I think Big Show can do to get younger talent over and get them a better place on the card is a good thing. Like, who is really being like, oh, that Big Show QT Marshall, I'm really looking forward to that match? No one.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, people might be like, oh yeah, QT Marshall's good, but no one's looking forward to the match. Yeah.
That's it. As much as I adored that Dynamite segment, like, I can't inherently disagree with you. Like, I can't defend it. I mean, like a second match, like, hey, people want to go to the merch stand. This is the bathroom break. You kind of do need those buffer spots, and QT Marshall and Big Show is perfect for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel you on that though too. Our next match of the night: Chris Jericho versus MJF singles match, the final fight. If Jericho loses, he can't wrestle.
Streets of Rage man myself.
I like both. They're both pretty good games, but nonetheless,
Rage is better.
If Jericho loses, he can't wrestle in AEW anymore. So I don't know. I guess I'll go first on this one because I've just been asking you first. I don't know where to go on this because Jericho said he started his main event career, 22 years ago in Chicago, and putting over younger talent like this would be the way to go out.
On All Out.
On All Out. That being said, I don't see a reason why he would release his complete list of Jericho book 6 months prior to ending his career. You see what I'm saying? So I think Jericho's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he puts over MJF.
I think Jericho should put MJF, and I think he will put MJF because why would they? Again, you put that book into factor. Like, what if that could just be it? MJF could just be the last match on that list and just wipe her hands clean. Just don't have to add any more matches from this point on.
Well, yeah, but you'd have to have an updated version of the book, which is doable, but just in my head,
it's a lot. It'll probably be a lot easier for them to not do that. Have MJF be actually the last on that list, and it's gonna do a bill of goods for MJF. And listen, as much as like AEW, and this is a good way for Jericho to actually, transition just straight up into being a commentator for Rampage, and they could always roll back on that stipulation as much as gung-ho as they are for stipulations. Like, they could say, like, oh, MJF could, like MJF, Sean Ross Sapp actually made a really good point about this. Like, MJF could, like, he might need Jericho's help one day,
Oh yeah. And be like, well, I can, and then he could be the one to allow him to come back or something. I mean, we've seen WWE.
Keep going. I got to reconnect my microphone.
All right. Well, we've seen that in WWE with, when John Cena beat the Authority and they got rid of the Authority. But if you remember correctly, then they tricked John Cena into allowing the Authority to come back. And when he did that, it was kind of dumb, but I could see that being a point if MJF does beat Chris Jericho and Jericho puts him over, because that would make sense for an all-time great to do the job the correct way. Especially, it has so much meaning in Chicago 22 years ago, so it's great what they're doing in this match, because I am still talking. And yeah, it's going to be great. Like you said, MJF is going to win. I said Chris Jericho is going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if MJF wins. So that leads us to our next match of the evening.
Testing.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, our next match. I was gonna test what you thought about the next match.
Oh god, this Yeti's butt cheeks.
Next match. Did you want to say anything else about Jericho and MJF?
No, I think I said my piece.
Okay. Miro defending his TNT title against Eddie Kingston. What do you think, Michael?
I think they could easily just there could be a fucked finish, and they could run this back at Arthur Ashe and have an extended program building up to that.
That makes sense.
But then I feel like you should do that with Proud and Powerful as well for the Bucks or Lucha Bros.
Well, Lucha Bros winning in New York, though, that'd be kind of random. Like, why would they? But with Proud and Powerful,
Proud and Powerful winning in New York. So if I had a choice between Proud and Powerful, I mean, fuck it, do both. Fuck it. This isn't WWE, like they could just do both hometown booking.
Kingston and
I want Eddie Kingston to win that TNT championship at Arthur Ashe. I mean, if we can't get that, get Proud and Powerful to win the tag titles at Arthur Ashe. At least one of them. It'd be nice for both, but
I would go with Kingston over that. But I see Miro winning, like you said, winning this match at All Out, retaining. Maybe somebody who's super hot gets involved, and maybe distracts Eddie Kingston, or some sort of fucked finish, like you said. But like I said, I think Miro's retaining.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily in this particular event. I think Miro should retain.
Then we move on to the Young Bucks. That's the team of Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, with no Nike Dior lows, facing or defending their titles in a steel cage against the Lucha Brothers. That's Penta El Cerro Miedo and his brother Rey Fenix. They have Alex Abrahantes in their corner, although it wouldn't help them because they are in a steel cage.
But then also it goes two ways, steel cage. They don't have Alex Abrahantes, but then the Young Bucks don't have the Elite on their corner.
Have we seen
shenanigans?
Have we seen a steel cage match in AEW yet?
Yeah, Cody versus Wardlow.
Okay.
The fucking War Games match.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm thinking general, like regular steel cage.
Wardlow versus Cody.
Is it regular rules? Like, are we gonna see is it just escape the cage and all that, or is it just pinfall or something?
I can see the Young Bucks trying to escape.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. But I think the Lucha Brothers are taking the tag titles.
They better.
They built it up for them to win the tag titles on Dynamite.
Considering how Dynamite ended this week, like if the Lucha Bros lose this match, they're burying the Lucha Brothers.
I don't see the Elite keeping every single title out of this pay-per-view, but I also don't see Kenny Omega. Well, we'll get there. I see the Young Bucks losing their titles before Kenny Omega is what I'm trying to say.
And you're basically saying the Young Bucks are losing.
Yes.
I do too. I agree. I think the Lucha Bros should go over, and I think this is going to be a fucking insane match. The balls Tony Khan has to put Rey Fenix on a steel cage. Did you know how Rey Fenix enters a ring regularly? He jumps on the top rope and does a backflip.
Yeah. Well,
God knows what he's going to do on the top of a cage. He's going to outdo Cody. He's going to do like 7 other flips off the cage.
Outdo Cody?
Yes, outdo Cody. They're going to outwork everyone.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I proclaim we're going to see new tag team champions, just like you do. We move on to the AEW Women's Championship match. Dr. Britt Baker, MD. I love how over that is, too, because I just want to see everyone in the arena just like DMD. Versus Chris Statlander. She's defending her title against her. What do you think?
It's gonna be a tough spot, tough match. I think it'll be okay. I still think Chris Statlander is still a little bit green. I like her.
Well, she's an alien.
I can never. That's the thing about this AEW women's division. I like everyone. I think they're all very likable. I just think any match is besides your Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, your or anything else. Nothing seems really hot to me from an in-ring standpoint, which I think the addition of a Ruby Soho would be very welcome, because they do need a veteran per se, a veteran in-ring worker, and that's what they were probably hoping for with Ruby's with Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb and CM Punk working in the same company. She's injured. He's injured.
Straight Edge Society.
She had
Hey,
like a
and Gallows. We have Gallows there too. We have all 3 members of the Straight Edge Society in AEW.
maybe next time. Maybe next time. But
next year.
and like Hikaru Shida, she did her thing. You know that her time has not passed, but they did what they did with her. Hopefully, she'll come back in a meaningful program. What the fuck are they doing with Riho?
They're not selling her toys. I can tell you that much.
Jesus.
Everywhere I go, that's the only toy that they have.
And yeah, I think this will be an okay match. But at least they have a clear heel versus face thing.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a fucked finish. You have Jamie Hayter and Rebel ringside.
Yeah,
so,
I think, and Britt Baker's retaining.
And you'll get Orange Cassidy out there doing his little shtick. But I mean it'll be kind of.
He's gonna orange punch both ladies, just like, oh god.
It'll be cute.
That's your heel turn.
No, because Orange Cassidy does the thing where he'll just kind of step in the way. I think if there's like with Chris Statlander, but he won't. Like not of Chris Stat, but yeah, something attacking her. Okay, now here's the real question. We have 2 matches left on the card, Michael. 2. What is gonna be the main event?
I think it's gonna be Omega and Cage.
I think so too. I think you're right. I do think you're right because Kenny.
There's a very big reason.
Tony Khan did state on an interview with Wrestling Observer Radio. That's Dave Meltzer, and I think it was Garrett
Gonzalez.
Who sounds like a swell guy.
Have you seen a picture of Garrett Gonzalez? Have you seen video or picture of Garrett Gonzalez?
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook.
He looks damn near 20.
He does. He sounds
He's like nowhere near.
I always thought he was like 20. I always thought he was 20 for the longest time. And then I saw a picture. I was like, oh, whoa, you're older than 20. Okay. I didn't want to say he's old, but he's older than 20.
He has kids in college.
He does.
He co-founded Next Door. Karens Are Us.
God. This person on Nextdoor the other day was complaining about somebody being naked in their car, and then was like, "I'm gonna call the cops on you." And
I mean,
they could be a nudist. Let them.
Okay.
Be.
Are there nudists in San Francisco?
Yeah, go to the Castro. I'm not making a joke, but there are literally nudists that hang out.
Yeah, I know. Like I've only seen naked people in public in the context of like a parade or a fucking celebration, but just straight up, hey, this is me.
They're just like on the corner of Market and Castro. It's just like, okay, we get it, guys. Okay, so since we both in agreement that that's the main event, we will go to the semi-main: CM Punk versus Darby Allin. I mean, CM Punk has to win this.
CM Punk has to win this.
He has to.
Well, it's the classic Vince booking where it's fuck it, pal.
Yeah, Darby Allin is kind of like
the
whip. Like he is kind of like the one that takes a lot of losses, though. I've noticed that. Lately.
Jobber to the start. Nah, I still think this is this. But come on, this is still his biggest match of his entire career.
Oh, definitely, yeah,
100%. So I don't think he gets hurt by a loss at all.
He did say CM Punk said if he was 15, he'd watch Darby Allin. Well, Darby Allin did watch CM Punk when he was 15.
Complete circle. It's a great story. Now, yeah, we're both in agreement that Punk is going to win this, but what do you think that match is going to look like?
I mean, it's going to be like.
Don't sleep on like Darby's technical skills.
But how much ring rest does CM Punk have?
We're gonna find out, and I think that is one of its main attractions. This could be a fucking train wreck.
I'll be honest, that GTS he did on Dynamite.
Oh, I thought it looked great. Honestly, no. Dynamite, that Dynamite segment, I thought he surprised me physically. If you saw the GTS that he did when he did it on that indie, I thought this guy clearly doesn't give a shit like about how he physically built he is for wrestling for a return.
Yeah.
He looked way better.
We'll see what happens. See how much see how long CM Punk can go in a ring doing a match in front of crowd. Like, yeah, you can train, but this is going to be the ultimate test.
Rock Hogan levels of heat.
No,
I think these. No, I think they're gonna stare at each other for like a good 3 minutes.
Oh,
it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. They're definitely gonna build up the crowd, and the crowd's gonna go wild. But then the main event of the evening is going to be Kenny Omega defending his AEW World Championship with Don Callis in his corner against the Impact champion, which his title is not on the line, Christian Cage. So
it actually said that it's for real.
It doesn't say It says singles match for the AEW World Championship.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no indication, because if this match was for all the titles, why wouldn't they have just had one match for all the titles?
Yeah, no, they would make that clear. I think this is
And why
going to
wouldn't the other match have been for the AEW title? So
I think Kenny Omega goes over, and I think this match will surprise a lot of people. Will surprise a lot of
yeah,
people just by from the pure standpoint. These guys aren't restricted by Rampage time, TV time. I think what they're gonna go for, they're gonna run it back, like, because I watched that Rampage match. That it fucked. Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it, and I came away from that Rampage match wanting more, and I think these guys are gonna like surprise the hell out of everybody, and I think Omega's gonna go over, and I think, but Christian Cage is gonna end up looking really, really good out of it.
oh, I mean, definitely, it's gonna go at least good 22 minutes.
I think 22 minutes is a bit of a. I think that's on the short side. I think they want to give Kenny Omega his 30 to 40 minute like match.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But
I think
hey,
that's but I do think that's the expectation level we're getting out of Kenny Omega.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
That's my expectation level.
I see this match being better than what everyone thinks, because I don't have high hopes for it. I'm not a fan of Christians. I don't hate Christian. I don't have like a Christian voodoo doll and I'm like hoping he loses. I'm not a fan of his work. And when I see him wrestle, even from when he was wrestling in WWE, I turned off the channel. So
all right, fair enough.
He's a good worker, but hey,
he's outworking everyone.
Oh, that's his catchphrase. We all know, Michael. We get it. But
how many times have I said that?
Huh? Oh, you get it? That's what he says. That's what he says. Hey, guys. Oh, God. All right. So Kenny Omega retains his world title. Are we going to see anything else at All Out? So we've went through the card. We're predicting that Ruby Soho is going to show up. I'm predicting Adam Cole is going to show up. Jericho's losing. Bucks are losing. Baker's winning. Omega's winning. Punk is winning. And the most important match of the night.
We're mostly in agreement. That's kind of the thing.
No, we're not.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. There's some things I said Jericho's going to win.
I say Jericho's going to win. Oh, I said
MJF.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson.
Rewind the tape. No, not yet. Danielson was like, okay, we're gonna debut it All Out. And they're like, Adam Cole is no longer with WWE. He's like, well, I'm gonna stay in Seattle for another couple months. You guys will.
Okay, so this is the main difference. This is going to be the main difference between us. I say Bryan Danielson's premiering after the Omega Christian Cage match.
I mean, it could be. But Punk said, you have to be a little patient about that, guy. You gotta calm down. Okay.
But I think this is where you debut it.
We'll see. I mean, what's the pay-per-view after this? Full Gear?
Yep.
When's Full Gear? In November?
St. Louis. And they might move that too.
Yeah, and then it's Revolution in February, right?
That's their usual cycle.
No, I'm just thinking, just 2 months off.
So
We'll see.
I think Bryan Danielson debuts. I think he debuts in All Out.
And then build to Full Gear? So the big match
he's going to be in that mix. Listen, he's not CM Punk. He wrestled WrestleMania. He wrestled the month after WrestleMania against Roman Reigns to put him over on his last match. This is Bryan Danielson is ready.
No, I'm not saying he's not ready. I'm just saying, to me, having him debut at All Out in September. I guess you have October, November. You have 2 months to build up the match. But then what? You're gonna have Kenny Omega lose the whole big build is for him to lose at Full Gear?
He could wrestle at the Arthur Ashe. He could debut at Arthur Ashe. There's not much time. There's not a lot of time between Arthur Ashe and Full Gear.
I don't think he should.
I mean, not Full Gear, All Out.
I don't think he should be inserted into the title picture immediately, is what I'm saying.
I think you kind of have to. He is 100% their biggest name. He's 100% their biggest name that they will sign. I say arguably more than Punk.
Rumors are that he was signed,
Yeah. And so I think with Bryan Danielson, he is 100% your main event. He's in that main event scene. Yeah. Because he's fucking Bryan Danielson, Korey.
Bryan Danielson.
No, it's not. They're not going to say that. I mean, they will do yes chant, but I do think, yeah, of course, there's going to be a yes chant.
But you can't.
They're going to do. You're going to get your fucking head kicked in. Like this is going to be American Dragon. At least if Tony
who's gonna do you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
That's his chant.
I don't know that. I mean, you're saying this to me, and I've been a fan of Daniel Bryan the entire WWE career, and I know
You just said Daniel Bryan. That just goes to show how much of a true fan you are,
and how many people of the 1 point whatever million that watch AEW Dynamite.
I think you'll be familiar with. I think you'll be surprised. I think you will be surprised. You are underestimating.
Yeah, I'm definitely underestimating the fan base. I don't think they're going to start chanting that. I think if somebody starts chanting, they might get it going, but chances are it's going to be a lot of yes chants.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not doubting there will be zero. I'm not saying there will be zero yes chants. There was fucking yes chants during the Punk promo, something that he had nothing to do with. But I can't wait. Oh my god, I can't wait, Korey. It's gonna be great. The show's gonna be great.
We're gonna be all in or all out.
No Andrade versus Pac.
Yeah,
I think Pac apparently has visa issues. He never should have left the country. Probably.
Hey.
I don't know.
I
don't know his deal.
The first time, I think he's had visa issues before.
Yeah, I know.
What is going on with Pac? Does he have
something going on with? Hey, listen, the world happened. Okay.
No,
the world happened.
This is more. I'm concerned.
America happened.
I want my mom to sit down with Pac and talk to him and see what's going on.
I know. I feel like no.
My mom will be like,
"Don't try to read too much into this."
Pac, what is going on? Laura. Anyways.
They're scheduling it for another. I mean, Tony TK said they're scheduling it for a Rampage. So,
yeah.
But then, do you think they're going to make good with an Andrade appearance at the pay-per-view? Because I feel like he's owed that at least.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, Ashley Flair. Mi amor, es all elite.
She's just like, fuck it, I'm leaving. You have me.
After that whole Nia Jax thing, I wouldn't be surprised, but hey.
Anyways, AEW Dynamite, AEW All Out, AEW
TGI Fight-Day.
TGI Fight-Day. Yeah, that's the show we do right here on City Wrestling Radio. Guys, I think we're going to get out of here for the evening because I'm going to go get a late night burrito.
Ooh, yeah.
Nonetheless.
They still open?
They're not the one by my house, but I'll hop in my car.
Okay.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Can you get me one?
It's a little far of a drive, but
shit. Okay, it's fine.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at CWR415. That's only on Twitter though, but if you want to find us anywhere else, check us out at City Wrestling Radio. That's on Instagram and Facebook because we've been pretty popular lately. You post a lot of news.
We're kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal around here, yeah, especially in the greater Bay Area. Yeah, check us out on social media because like I said, every day I post news onto Instagram, you know.
Just lighten up the timelines, lighten up your timelines.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we will see you later and probably see you. Oh, no, not probably. I'll definitely see you for the All Out review. Have a wonderful day.
Oh, my fucking microphone is fixed. I hope we don't sound too
dun, 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 dun.